Hello? Hello. Testing, testing, my voice is clear. Okay, thanks. Wait. Alright. Hello. Oh, wait. Okay. So, I'm gonna explain what just happened. An unexpected issue just happened and it was so weird. Really makes no sense why it didn't happen. So, what happened was that my Wi-Fi and I just didn't want to work on my laptop. It was working for other devices, even my phone. I just so confused what happened, why it wasn't working on the laptop. Searched up the issue and then solved it. And yeah, everything is good now. Okay, let's begin with the Dia's story quest. Oh yeah, I gotta do the intro. Hello guys, it's me. Welcome to another Genshin live stream. Today we're gonna do a Dia's story quest, so let's unlock it right now. The final story quest. Okay. Let's go. Go to the Grand Bazaar. Streaming quality is looking good. Okay. No issues. No. I'm just really sorry that I was late. But everything's good now.
Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list?
No idea.
Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some.
That wasn't on our list, was it?
We can still add it to the list.
Of course.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Hello, Dunya. Dunyazad and Dia.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Yes.
So you two are still hanging out together. Dia, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
Did she? I don't remember.
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dehya to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dehya wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dehya. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes! Paimon can't believe you can still refuse that!
But wait,
Okay.
didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave?
Is that a good
There are
idea?
so many places I still haven't visited yet.
Is it
I'm
safe?
sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Why is there something wrong? Besides the Eremites just wandering around? Or walnuts?
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
Wow.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid.
Oh?
Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
What kind of trouble, Dehya?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Yeah, she's onto something. There is trouble. She stuttered.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, looks like Dunyarzad was onto something.
Yeah, she couldn't refuse, right? To Dunyazad, she's her friend.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you.
See?
I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady... You're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk here.
I mean, not that it really
Just
matters.
try not to
others,
draw
but
any extra attention.
Still.
As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's relics.
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
King Deshret or Al-Ahmad?
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Wait, is Al-Ahmar the guy who lost his mind when he put his hands on one of the corrupted Divine Knowledge Capsule? I think so, yeah.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dekan al-Akmar.
There's another Al-Ahmar. The Khan? What?
The Khan?
The Khan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real
Beard
issue is that
Ahmad.
Dekan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Your father, Kusela.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety.
Your
now.
father? What?
But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Oh dear.
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
Yikes. And why couldn't I get a commission like that to stop them? No? So the Adventures Guild fold.
That's
I
beyond
could have
terrible.
prevented them.
They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees
Oh,
it.
wait, but then
All I
still,
do know
how
is
would they
that
get
Dakana
information
Akmar
like
has
that
become more and more aggressive over the
without,
last few
you know,
years.
being attacked?
If I don't do something
Never
about
mind,
them,
I'm coping.
then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful,
There goes the
he
frame
spent
drops.
most of his time
No.
drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
No.
I'm sorry, Dehya.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I
Common?
mention that
Oh,
my
wow.
father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah.
From a kid's book.
They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull.
20 repeats. What? Damn, that's pretty awful.
He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play.
What's up, my guy? Welcome to the stream.
Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
But it doesn't sound like he had all the bad intentions.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good.
Talking about these, I'm sure we're gonna run into them eventually. Probably.
I'm not investigating them due to
Knows.
any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
You just want to find out why they suddenly started causing so much more trouble.
Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
Oh,
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
I'll go back to the desert with Dehya.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Well, he's
Why not?
super tough, so if he went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
I sure hope so.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took him along to help.
I'll do my best.
I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
There's a lot of people who care about Dehya, but Hoyoverse doesn't give a shit about Dehya at all. She made her a really good character. I love her character, but the damage, why? Like, why she gotta be worse than Aloy now? It's so disappointing. And now there's like builds for her that you just don't have to do anything and just let your artifacts kill them. Like, what is this bullshit? This is so sad. I gotta do something with Dehya. Besides releasing an artifact for her. I gotta, fix her skills. Like, jumping during her burst to cancel is not what it's intended. Like, that's not what it's supposed to be. Why would it cancel the burst? Like, take Ito for example. It doesn't cancel his burst. You can still keep going. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, where am I going though? Anyways, yeah. The jump cancel is completely bullshit. Like, why is that the thing for Dehya's burst? Eremites.
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours?
Yes. It's a pleasure to meet you. I trust Dehya with my life.
Oh, so you've already become like one of us then? Well, that's good to know. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Ahmar's been up to lately.
Beard al-Ahmar.
They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Wait, what? This sounds like they're being possessed or something.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. But it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or a portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as the Khan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
Okay, that is very confusing. What is happening to them? Like, they were able to cause so much damage that somehow makes things even more confusing, right? Like, what is it? What are they on to now?
It sounds mighty strange to me too. Harun, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us.
Okay.
Gotta say though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Good thing you just came out on no scratch.
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. The Khan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after all.
What he said. Besides, Dehya, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined?
Who?
What we
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
Isham and Khalaf.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebot. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from him.
Cause I'm special, you know.
Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
No, you're a flying lavender melon.
Oh, you're also planning to tag along with them?
Yeah, they forgot she was here the whole time.
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever he goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh, in that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dehya.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
I mean, Paimon, what can you do in self-defense?
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the traveler here.
But she did nothing in all those battles.
Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
When you say it like that, I don't know.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dehya. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Hey, yo, what? What did he say?
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows.
Wow. What am I listening?
The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Wow. Damn.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Why did you mention that first?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Oh, so he's new.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that, and you weren't even gonna tell me?
That. Damn, I feel bad for them.
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
What is going
Are
on?
they always like this?
Okay, my frames. No.
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it.
Bro, what is happening in the back?
That's also why I never spare their feelings
Dude,
when I
look
talk
at
to
them.
them.
They're looking
If I
at
want to
them.
laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homiyanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot.
That was real
There
funny.
you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting rid of Dehya al-Akhmar's looted goods.
That was really funny. Them running around in the back like some Scooby-Doo shit.
All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dehya.
Man, this frames again. This is really sad. Watch over the trade route and wait for your moment. Do I just stand on the road in the open or wait?
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time.
Above the branch. No, here we
It's
go.
gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be
not.
careful.
No need to worry. He knows his way around a fight.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy. After all, we still need to get information out of them. Ah, here they come. You ready?
Why can't time like this even? You know, why does it have to take so long to change time, daytime, nighttime?
Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Can I use Dehya? Yay, Dehya.
That's close enough.
Stand with me.
Burn! Burn! Nice. They're all dead. Never mind. Look at me. Look at newbies. Satar.
You're the Flame Bane.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes?
Oh, wow.
You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
It's alright, Paimon. She knows what she's doing.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
Huh?
Huh?
Are you crazy?
What?
He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies.
What just happened?
I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
Oh, he stabbed himself? Bruh.
But why would he be so extreme?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further.
Maybe bring
What
this.
should we do?
Maybe bring this guy to Candace. Maybe Candace can convince. I mean, you know, force him. You spit out some intel. You know.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking. There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, that kind of was extreme. Look at this guy. There are some weapons in the boxes as well as a bunch of medicine and bandages. It seems like the Khan is really up to no good. There are a lot of daily necessities like food and water in the boxes. Doesn't seem like there's anything noteworthy. Oh, what's this?
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti.
And their father's name. I mean, her father's name.
All
mentioned.
familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakana Lakmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No Mora value? What? They don't want value? I mean, Mora?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Maybe the Mora amounts just happen to cancel each other out.
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods
Yeah,
themselves.
sure, it sounds like they're
There
possessed
are a
and they
lot
don't
of
even care about
entries.
Mora and all that.
Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon Homayani?
Shazaman Humayani. Who?
Homoyani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
Oh, wait, wait, what?
Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazamon Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family. Just what the heck is going on here?
Calm down, Nia. Let's analyze the situation first.
I'm sorry, you're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dekhan al-Akmar.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dekhan al-Akmar?
That's a possibility, but if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shazamon as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Ribat or Port Ormos.
If Shazaman was actually aware of this, then perhaps he's been supplying the brigade's operation this entire time.
Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past, but that's still just a speculation. I don't think the Master would stoop so low to make Mora.
I don't think Dunyazad knows anything about this either. Yeah, she didn't know as well.
You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
Yeah, she would say something like, tell this to us, because we're friends, you know?
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If we want to get to the bottom of this, we won't be able to turn back.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dekhan al-Akmar.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility, but even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
I hope we'll be of help to her.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Okay. Grand Bazaar, or she's outside? Caravan accounts. Yeah, I'm really confused now. Really confused. There's Kave's and Haidum's house. I can't even enter it. So sad. Oh, Dunyazad. Oh, you look
We're back,
worried.
my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
No.
Something like that. Yeah.
Are you hesitating, Dehya?
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, "Dunyarzad, we're back!" So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
Why don't talk about this inside, you know?
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can.
Dehya manages to explain the results of the investigation to Dunyarzad.
My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
That feels unlikely, though.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while.
Oh, so you had things that you didn't tell us.
In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
Maybe because Dehya is way different than those mercenaries, and that they can trust Dehya to protect Dunyarzad. I think Dunyarzad's father is like, you know, at a gunpoint. Someone being forced to do all these, you know? Someone's behind all that. It's not...
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd
happened?
ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of Mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought.
There's gotta be a reason, Dehya, why they had to choose you.
I think I get what you're saying. You'd think none of this was a coincidence.
Yeah.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
To protect them, right? Of course, that's what the bodyguard's job is.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
And that, oh wait.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
That's what things are looking like at this point.
Sorry we put all of this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Dehya.
It's all right, Dehya. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was the thing about friendship again?
And true friendship is built on trust.
Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dehya. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
If her trust hasn't been misplaced, then he probably has many conflicting feelings as well.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the Master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
I don't think we met Dunyazad's father, right? Or any of the Humayami's family. Just Dunyazad.
Usual place?
Usual place. You mean where the chair is at? Next to the waypoint? Yep. The usual place.
Thank you for coming, sir.
Oh, I have never seen this guy ever.
Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to him is his travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes. My daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person.
It's nice to see you.
But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
He explains the issue to Shahzaman.
So, that's what you found? Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
What is it?
Wait, me?
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you, the facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow.
I think her father isn't bad at all. Like, he's doing something for Dehya.
I've
For the
made it
sake of
this
Dehya.
far in life without a single drop of my father's support.
He's supporting you in in the shadow, I guess.
I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homayani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyazad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dehya al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dehya al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites?
I'm very confused now. It's like, is the Khan al-Ahmar actually good? But in this current situation, are they like being, controlled or possessed or, being gunpointed? Like they're the victims?
Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby
I don't know
Dunyazad.
anymore. I'm
She
coping.
was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
Something must have happened.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyazad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyazad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house, but he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dehya.
So he was the one who recommended Dehya to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dehya as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Come on, Dehya.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always send me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Yeah, something did happen.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that the Khan al-Ahmar started becoming more aggressive?
Yeah, something did happen.
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things.
So the Khan al-Ahmar used to be a good group, but a few years ago, something did happen in that group. Like something's, taking control.
But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dehya at risk.
But by that same token, he should have also stopped asking you for materials.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
So you did send the weaponry and explosive.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Okay, Dehya, that's a bit too far. Dehya?
Oh no. Dehya, please don't feel that way.
That's a little too far, Dehya. Calm down.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Maybe there's another way of looking at all of this. Can you try to believe in him just one more time?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think I can do it. But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone.
Shazaman is still good, seems. He told us everything. And yeah. So there's nothing to worry about this guy.
I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30.
Jawed.
He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
A few drinks alone, enjoy the cool wind at night outside of the tavern.
Understood. Thank you, sir.
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet.
Yeah, there's so much going on right now that I can't even process as well. I got the gist of it.
My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
Look for Javad at the outside the tavern at night. That means to change the time.
The scribe's work is simple, which is exactly why I took the position.
Oh, Jawad.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh. Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private.
Oh, he's pretty chill.
This place should do. All right. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dakan al-Akhmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of Mora from my last run. Just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Shut it.
Oh my god.
My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later.
Surely we'll give him some nice words.
They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Can I read this guy's mind?
Just my luck. How did I get caught by her of all people?
Okay, so the location is somewhere in the desert. Okay. My frames though, so bad. The disadvantage of having a laptop, but it's because I'm streaming. That's why it's taking a toll. But it's fine, I can handle it. Or you don't mind, right?
Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Dehya, why are you here?
Oh my god. My frames, so bad.
Out of my way!
Oh my god, wait. Why is it so bad? Let me see.
Busted.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to see it like this.
Look alive! Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
What's these guys that were, mentioned in the note?
Buckle up!
Ah, she's so strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dehya, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
Wait, what? Oh shit.
What?
So someone is using his name. Oh my god, that is completely fucked. No.
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
Why?
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
So that's why they turned on each other. It was all motivated by revenge.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters, whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit. The records serve both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
So you mean Kusela thought there was no escaping the records?
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dehya and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
Oh shit! Oh my god. He's been protecting Dehya the whole time. Oh my god. So being hired as a bodyguard means you just save Dehya from you all this. But you have to take all the excuses. You have to make all the excuses for all this. Oh, what the fuck? No wonder he felt so weak when Shazama looked at him.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again.
This story quest is so sad, man. Oh my god.
I suggested that
And look,
he hand
the music in the background is
leadership
gonna make
over
it
to
even
me,
more sad.
but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
But Deshret's relics haven't been the only victims of your revenge.
There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies. From food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid.
So you were using his name and all that just to do all this. Oh my god.
We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Responding to violence with more violence will only cause more pain. Do you have any idea the amount of damage you've done?
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world, we used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
Oh dear.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dehya? You wanna go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Of course, I am on your side, Dehya. No, I made a promise to Dunyazad to support you.
Yeah. Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
Dehya is precious, please. Why did Hoyoverse treat her like this? Her kid, her damage. Why did they do this? Like, no damn reason. Like, you can cancel her burst for no reason whatsoever. Like, why is that a thing? Man, I feel so bad for Dehya. Both in story and the kid, man. I really hate Hoyoverse no matter what. Regardless what they do, I still hate them. Unless they buff her. Besides giving her artifact. Like, man, I don't know anymore.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Just imagine, you're a newbie in this game and then you met Dehya and you learn about the stories of Dehya, her character and all of that, and then when you decide to play her, you realize that her damage sucks and you're very confused about it. You're like, I thought Dehya was so good. What the story said, her character is so strong. Like, why is her damage so bad? It's
Considering all the
bullshit.
losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
Sincerity is facade. Go to the hiding place of Deshret's relics. The fact that I'm skipping her is not because her skills are so bad, it's because that the fact that she's a standard character is what I'm trying to take advantage of, like just like Tainari. Like, I wished on Sinus banner and I lost 50-50 and got Tainari, which was actually a really good thing for me, to be honest. So, if Dehya's gonna be the standard banner, then why not just do the same thing with her as well? Maybe you lose a 50-50 and get her. That's the only advantage you take to get more characters. I don't really care about the meta and all that. I'm already strong enough to, you know, do the spiral biz. What else is there that I can't
Is
beat?
this the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
Should be. I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend their perimeters.
You need pyro. They'll give us a Dehya. Sure of it. Let's make a team for Dehya.
Want me to come along?
I don't think her burst will, you know, trigger these normal attacks, so I don't think that will work.
Gonna
be epic.
Which is also another thing what I hate about Dehya's burst. Besides the jump cancel thing, she can't even trigger the Yelan's burst normal attacks because she's doing burst damage, not normal. You know, I don't know. Burst animation and not do the normal attacks. I'm just be talking like this. I feel like a nerd. Talks about meta. Even the fact that I just said I don't give a shit about meta. What else can I use? Xiangling. What elements do I need? I need Dendro. And that's fine. Just imagine they didn't give us Dehya. Just imagine.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
Oh, what a mess. What the hell?
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
I fought through many situations like this before, of course.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
Alright. Oh, 3 characters. Only 1 character.
You are not welcome.
Look alive! Everybody stand back!
I haven't done a single Dehya burst at all. The energy sucks as well.
Stand with me!
There we go.
You asked for it!
Yikes, the damage.
I'm getting sick! One with nature! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Fallen leaves. Adorn my light! The wind knows it.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Okay. Okay. You know, I really like that Genshin is trying to do this mechanic where you have allies fight alongside you. I wonder one day they will add, you know, actual playable characters who fight alongside us, you know, like, you know what I mean. It will be...
Hey!
Oh god.
You guys okay?
The hell?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way. The sooner we can make it through to help them,
What
the
is
better.
that?
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go.
Luck, you say? I'll just use my brain. This place is big. Surely there's a chest around, no? Screw you, FPS. There I go again, running around
Time to
with
go.
no idea what's going on because of this frame rate. Makes me feel lost. What do you do? Adjust the height and color of the light, and it might be properly received. Change, rise. Oh, that's simple. I like that.
Buckle up! Hi!
It's so hard to get used to the 5th button. Like, I can't even press it properly.
Let's light it up! Our bond is strong!
Yeah!
Maybe I should have like, got rid of one person of these so I can have only 4 people on my team.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
It's easy though. But can this be raised? No. I just need to lower that.
I see everything.
I'm gonna burn you alive.
Let's get it off! Gloves off!
Oh wow, it does a lot of damage when I use Kazu's you know, resistance shred. All reactions, you know. Wait, what artifacts is she using? Of course! Noblesse! No other way. It's always noblesse that they give when it comes to domain trials.
Everybody stand back!
Into the wind.
Look alive! Ha! Ha!
And if you notice, I have a C6 Bennett, so it's power infused. You know, I'm starting to think that maybe I should start wishing for Dehya, you know? Do you guys think it's a good idea? Or should I wish for Dehya? Actually, I feel like wishing for Dehya now. Oh my god. There I go. I even made a video myself that I'm skipping Dehya, and now here I am talking about maybe I should wish for Dehya. Now what's this? Do I rise this up? Change the color. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Is this gonna be a boss fight? Because this place sure is big. It is big, holy. And a precious chest. Whoa.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side.
Shao. Relic's leader.
But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already.
The fact that we're able to hear this guy from that distance and he's way up there is very funny.
I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Yes, I am playing on a Europe server.
Let us
see my UID
draw
over here.
our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers.
No, it's one of these fan folks.
They are but two, while we hold within ourselves
They
the
go
entirety
high
of
beyond
the
doing
relic's
such ridiculous
glory.
things. I remember that one guy in what was it? You know, the World Quest thing. I don't know. I'm coping, but I remember that guy. You sit on that chair and just
Wave one,
disappear.
charge! Eliminate them!
Oh, what is that? What's that bar on the top?
The wind knows me. clouds high, the birds call.
I'm going in!
You don't think that you've won. You're just getting started. King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
Buckle up! Teamwork is dreamwork! You asked for it!
Now
Will! Brothers! With me. This is where we'll prove our faith.
God,
All
that's
just
a lot.
wanna die?
None of us plans to leave this place alive! The golden slug.
That's it.
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us! This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat!
You know what? That's actually a good content, you know? That Genshin should add something like this, you know? An endless arena. Try to see how much you can survive, how many waves you can go through.
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
The fact that the people have so many ideas that could make this game way better. Genshin doesn't really take those ideas. And like, who the fuck thinks fishing system is a good idea in this game? Like, fishing? Who asked for fishing?
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Okay. You're just gonna run in there? Oh no, never mind.
get out of my way!
For a second, I thought only one person survived.
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
Ow, damn.
So,
Poor guy.
it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand, alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
What is that thing over there? Why is it so bright? What is that on the other side?
Hey, wait!
Excuse me? He just fell down.
We were too late.
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Yeah, just give up.
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Why is there precious chest there this whole time? What is inside there?
Let's go.
Man, this place is massive for the main, I guess. There is something down below that... Yes, I even fall down. I guess I can. So it's just a normal precious chest that's just sitting here.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics, and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after? Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know?
It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to talk.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth.
Average member.
If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room?
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk. Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you.
Shut the fuck up, man.
There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno.
Oh god.
Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard the... Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
This guy has so much running in his mouth. Like... Alright, let me just look around if there is a chest. What is this guy? Poor guy. Scared guy. Boy, are you alive?
I see everything.
No, you're not. There's no chest around here.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Dehya.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Okay.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dehya's father used.
Oh no.
Kusela.
So he
Thanks
really
for
did die.
everything, boss.
He really did die.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh?
Oh, cutscene. Oh, damn.
Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dehya has slain it. Its head now hangs
Oh
above
my
the city
god,
gates.
look at
The
Dehya, so
Great Way has brought
adorable.
Eternal peace and prosperity to us all.
Oh,
Dehya,
this
come
is
on,
getting me
this is
tears.
the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech.
Oh my
Still
god.
too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
Oh my god, I'm in tears. The whole story was shared with the Corps Authority, which finally joined the investigation in the name of restoring order. Members of Dash Relics were brought to justice, and members. Oh, give me time to read.
What's this?
We got you some snacks and drinks, all on Paimon's tab.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money.
When did you have lots of money? Better not be mine, though.
And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
She really spends her allowance on other people. It's really mind treat, but you get the point.
Hey, this way you get something from the both of us for the price of one. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Junior Azad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Everything just happened so fast.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him, and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth, and nearly even shed tears for his sake. We're hypocrites. All of us.
You should never question your true feelings, though.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
Hello, welcome to the stream.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Hello, Dunyazad.
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All like, huh? Dehya, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
Oh, she didn't know the whole story then. Oh. Once Paimon finishes telling the story...
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
But Dehya, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I'm sure you'll have a peaceful life eventually, you know?
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
It's always more fun when everyone's together.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
How many is there left for the story quest? How long has it been already? It's been an hour and 30 minutes. 38 minutes. Oh my god. Man, this story quest, it really really makes me want to wish for Dehya, man. Like I could just right now do it right now, but I gotta wait for a bit.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
What happened to you? What happened to you?
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk? Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
How the hell is he gonna take revenge on us?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this.
Man, poor guy, he has to sound like this. Man. I mean, it's his fault. Why did he fucking bit his tongue?
Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same.
The voice acting of this guy, he really did really good, you know.
One of the injured members gave this box to me and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
Yeah. Not really.
So this box contains everything that Dehya's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Is it the cane? The sword?
Well, back in the day,
How can
the
it
first
fit in
thing
that
he did
small
with any
box?
Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. Ugh, it kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important to him.
And here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm really confused.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. One No, 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
What an interesting man.
Huh? There's something in the bottle!
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dehya. It's a letter from me?
You don't need to read it out loud.
It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Huh?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert.
I'm very confused. What is happening?
But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you.
Dehya was an orphan?
You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dehya, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of.
Oh,
as far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
Well, isn't that also a good thing?
I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first
Man,
found
the
me alone
background
in the
music
sands,
is making me
then
cry.
I want to try my hand at finding the person who
Screw
abandoned
you,
me.
game. Oh my
I
god.
just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I also don't want to see his efforts go to waste.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Lion's blood. Oh my god, that was... I really like this story. It was very sad and, you know... Man, poor Dehya. Just want to wish for her right now. So that's everything for the story quest. Yeah. Now what's left is the Archon quest that I'm gonna stream next weekend. So yeah, that's everything for this stream. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video or stream. Bye bye.